Editing Tika here. We're going to start this video off first with the fact that I had a whole bunch more clips planned for this video. I had places I was going to go with it. It did not go there. I have had multiple migraines this week, so I re-recorded a bit of a clip the other day. I had some hopes to get some more done. This video goes out tomorrow morning, and I've got to get it fully edited and done up. So it's a shorter video. I will interrupt later with a bit of information because I forgot to say it in the video itself. There's a few other things I wanted to include. I didn't want to re-record one clip, so I kept the original clip. I'm sorry if there's any jagged cuts. Hopefully it's not too bad and you guys still enjoy it. Thank you for sticking around, and let's get to the actual video. Hello and welcome to another Fiber Friday. This week's video is probably not going to be the most in-depth or longest. I've been struggling with a lot of migraines this week, which meant I haven't got as much as I would like to have gotten done. What I have gotten has been to frog the previous version of one of my wild oleander scarves that I was making, and I've gotten a pretty decent way into finishing it. I was previously using a very cream colored yarn, think mushroom stem kind of cream colored, and it paired okay until I ran out of yarn right at the end and I didn't have more to finish it with. And as I am trying to use up scrap yarn, old yarn that was gifted to me, I didn't feel like it would be right to go out and try to color match and buy new yarn, so I didn't. I instead found enough of the white, frogged back, and restarted. I'm anticipating that before the end of the week, I will have this one finished and done up for the project. I was working on a knitted hat because I've been in the mood to knit, but the socks have been causing a lot of pain here. I have been using kinesthesiology tape to see if that can help a little bit, and it does, but the really small needles are starting to hurt. I was going to make myself a hat using much larger needles. Again, been coming up against the hand pain. This one I typically can do a little bit more than with the smaller needles, so when those ones start hurting, I switch to this one, work on this for a little bit, and then when this hurts, I switch over to crochet. I don't know if I mentioned it in a previous clip or if it's in this clip. I've been editing me will know if I've already mentioned it or if it potentially will be mentioned in an upcoming clip, but I'm going to mention it here now. But I decided that with my blanket that I'm making with the various different squares of stitches, it wouldn't be complete if I don't include the basic stitches, the single crochet, double, treble, what have you. So I've been deciding to work on some of those. I've gotten the treble stitch piece done. I've got to block it because it is all sorts of wobbly. But it is done and ready to just be blocked and then made into the square. I don't know if I'm going to block them now or when I've got a bunch of them done up. That bunch of them done up sounds a lot better right now, but that could be migraine me talking. I don't know. Organization-wise, I started on the Gridfinity. I mostly got through printer stuff, so it's not super fun. I did make a bunch of these cute little boxes that perfectly hold my safety eyes. And they have labels. I have not printed the labels yet because I wanted to type them up on the computer and be able to switch the filament at the right time, because it is one that you do need to either have a printer that can do 2 filament colors or stop it at the right layer and put the next filament color in and transition it over. The other thing that these came with was a cute little box that just will neatly hold them in place, so that way they can be all beautifully organized, and if I have them set up, I'll be able to read the label and be like, oh, this is the eyes I want. Beep. Me being me though, I decided to scale up the pattern because I thought the first box was a tiny bit too small, and I forgot to scale the bin. I am reprinting a bunch of the bins to finish filling up this guy because I think it'd be nice, but I am also going to be reprinting a bin that I have scaled up to match the correct sizing that I would like to do, and I've got all the bins done there. I have pulled down my micro crochet. I'm hoping this weekend, because I've really been wanting to try to make a few of the micro crochet projects that have been on my mind. I want to try to remake the bee, but this time using the magnifying glass. But with my migraines, I just haven't been able to this week. I did reorganize a bit of my yarn. I recaked a bit of the yarn. I think I was in the middle of telling you guys about the hat a few minutes ago, but I was working on a knit hat using these 2 skeins of yarn. This one has matching colors that are in here, so I thought they'd be perfect to pair together, and I thought it came out really cute. I probably could have made it a little bit longer, but I really wanted to give it to my brother-in-law. He's the one whose socks I'm still working on. I'm like, I'm knitting, I might as well be knitting for you, even if it's not the project I said I was going to. But I got it figured out. I know I have another clip later talking about the sewing pattern that I have picked out and plan to start cutting out and making that usable. I originally had plans to Gridfinity everything in my crochet and crafting stuff, and I went through and I printed a bunch of blank bins, and I am now learning that I think it would be wiser if I slow down on that just a little bit and make sure that I'm printing not just a bin, but something that makes sense for my actual use case. Which, once I get a lot of this yarn situated to where it's not just chaos for me, that I think will be a little bit easier. I am going to keep most of my 3D printing tools done up in the rainbow colored prints. Editing Tika here. I don't know if I'm going to keep this particular clip because of the 3D printer going in the background, but what I was trying to say was I'm keeping the 3D printing accessories and bins from the Gridfinity done up in the rainbow, but I'm probably going to be switching the color for all my sewing related items, aside from some very specific amigurumi eye bins. I'm going to be switching those to a different color. I've been having a lot of migraines this week, so I did not accurately or clearly state that. Back to video me. Not that it makes a massive difference in a lot of ways, but the bins that I did print for the eyes are in that multicolored. So like I've got that one, This is another small one. It mostly is in the blue. The bottom has a little bit of that red. Um, the bins themselves obviously got quite a bit of the red and a tiny bit of the blue. The yellowy orange. And then I made, because the bottom, okay, I'm going to do it on, I'm going to do it on one that I won't just dump a bunch of bearings all over myself. So on this one here, they've got magnets to help hold them into the base plates that I chose. Obviously, this one does not have magnets in yet. I don't have magnets. I need to buy more magnets. But I created, I printed a little thing to help install the magnets into the correct position with the correct north and south pole facing magnets, so that way I don't have to do, okay, I'm going to hold this up. You can kind of see it here on this one. I had to dig the magnets out after heating up the space. I put them into the base. I had a whole mess of magnets in the base, so I didn't want to change their polarity, but I stuck them in wrong on this one. Thankfully, I decided to test after doing just the one. Went to put it in and it was like, I don't match here. No, thank you. So I dug it out of here. Thankfully, I didn't have to reprint the whole bin. I would have been so upset at myself. And it is the base, and nobody's going to see that. So I don't have to worry about that too much. But I got those printed and set up. Oops, I put that in the wrong spot. That goes forward. I like the magnets because they do click right into place, and I don't have to worry about bumping it and having the bin fall out of where I wanted it to stay. Especially since a lot of that, like the bearing one, has my 608 bearings just open and exposed. What else have I done? I printed a kitty cat. That was my little bit of joy this week, was a little kitty cat that sort of works on the popsicle stick, but it jiggles around. They showed it on the end of like a phone charger or whatever to be able to help hold it. It's just a little fidget kitty, and I think it's adorable, so I printed it. I'm going to, if I can remember, to download it before starting another print. If I don't include it, sorry. Editor me will post on here that I didn't add it. But I made a pair of eyeglasses holders for my work desk, so that way it can hold my glasses. I know, not fiber related, but it's all I've really done this week. But yeah, no, other than that, it's just been caking up yarn, laying in bed, doing nothing, migraines, the joy. Oh. And I'm going to have to end this video here because that was my computer telling me that I'm running low on space. So, oops. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me on this week's Fiber Friday. I know it's probably a lot shorter than previous. Maybe you like that, maybe you don't. Let me know in the comments. If you did like the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, all the joy. For those of you that stayed all the way through, I really appreciate it. It makes me feel so much joy knowing that some of you have stayed through my entire video. But anyway, you have a wonderful weekend. Or weekday. I don't know, whenever you watch this.